Serra against St. Pierre.
St. Pierre right for the takedown. A lot of people thought he would stand up with Serra. He takes him right down, gets the half guard.
Serra, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. St. Pierre didn't mess with the strikes early.
What does that say about George St. Pierre's respect for Matt Serra's stand-up?
Absolutely a ton. Heavy-handed Matt Serra, as we found out the first time. St. Pierre's gonna try to break him down, impose his will.
Matt Serra's using a lockdown on that leg that's in his half guard, trapping that leg very tightly. Matt Serra's no slouch off of his back. He can do it all on the ground.
Serra signaling to everyone around the world, the two, that he was ready to shock the world for a second time here tonight. St. Pierre wants to prove that it wasn't a fluke, but it certainly was the upset that everybody considers it to be when he was defeated the first time by Matt Serra.
Could this conservative approach be the full fight game plan? St. Pierre could be wanting to take him down early and then finish him up on the feet later. Who knows? This is an interesting start for George St. Pierre.
So you're a bit surprised he went right for the takedown?
I am. I at least thought they'd feel it out on the feet. You know, I thought George St. Pierre thought he would be the best striker here in this octagon, but apparently not. He took him right down. He's working the ground and pound, and even a conservative ground and pound.
Indeed, and a little bit of the credit for that goes to Serra in the great ground defense. Serra trying to throw some elbows. He is an outstanding submission specialist. Elbows from the bottom again.
Nice elbow by Matt Serra.
Answered by George St. Pierre.
He's working the inside. Matt Serra needs to keep his arms inside of George St. Pierre's hands.
Big ones there.
Nice combination by George St. Pierre. Nice combination.
Postured up for a moment and boom, boom. The one noticeable difference in George St. Pierre, and there are many of them, but one that is really significant in this position is he's so much stronger than he was earlier in his career, George St. Pierre is. Half guard.
That's a scary thought, you know, seeing what he was doing to the welterweight division before that, and now, you know, his team is saying that he's even stronger. That's a scary thought.
Back to a closed guard. Matt Serra takes an elbow. Just past the midway point of this first round, championship fight. So we are scheduled for 5-minute rounds.
St. Pierre starting to pick up the pace. He's getting a little busier, throwing some short elbows, short punches in the guard of Matt Serra. Matt Serra needs to keep those arms on the inside of St. Pierre's arms to block those punches, those elbows, and set up a sweep like he's trying to do there. Nice attempt by Matt Serra.
St. Pierre in the half guard of Matt Serra now.
St. Pierre is going to pass the guard of Matt
Serra.
Serra.
Passed. This is bad for Matt Serra. Hammer fist from St. Pierre. George St. Pierre in a dominant position here in round one.
St. Pierre has to be careful with the knee bar. Okay, his leg is out. Matt Serra's going to get back to his guard. And he's back to his feet.
St. Pierre, relentless in his attack here in the first 4 minutes of this title fight.
GSP's doing a good job of riding Matt Serra here, using his weight. Matt Serra trying to escape. It's gonna spend a lot of energy. It's gonna spend a lot of energy.
Got a mouse under the right eye, Serra. St. Pierre trying to overwhelm a very strong and powerful Matt Serra.
He's chipping away at Matt Serra. Very interesting strategy. Perhaps he wants to pick it up later on.
Serra comes forward with a jab.
Watch the overhand right of Serra. Serra looks a little slower on his feet now. He's going to the body.
Now in the stand-up game, Kenny, you've talked about it a lot. Nice Superman punch. Led with the left, followed with a kick.
Very nice. He used this very effectively against Josh Koscheck.
Oh, wow.
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier when analyzing this fight. He needs to use a mixed bag of mixed martial arts. Takedowns, clinch, jiu-jitsu, knees, and he's doing it. It's gonna take away Serra's rhythm. He's not gonna be confident standing up.
What a great first round turned in by George St. Pierre.
Matt Serra looked a little frustrated going back to his corner. Nice shot by George St. Pierre coming down to the guard of Matt Serra. Nice 1-2 combination. What's surprising me the most, though, is the passing skills of George St. Pierre. This is exactly what George St. Pierre should have done.
It is worthy of mention, Serra has only been knocked out once in his career. That was in 2001, the very famous spinning back fist by Shoney Carter late in the fight, a fight in which Serra was dominated.
And that was Serra's first fight in the UFC.
Way back UFC 31, St. Pierre. Serra, round 2. Serra again is forced to the mat.
Nice leg kick by Matt Serra. It was timed perfectly by George St. Pierre. Matt Serra has an underhook with his left arm. Good position for him. He's gonna look to kind of get back to his feet or sweep. He's using the fence to get back to his feet, possibly setting up a guillotine.
You know, it's interesting, while St. Pierre is known so much for his great striking skills, he lands about 40% in his career of his strikes, but he is successful 80% of the time on his takedown attempts. He may be the best functional wrestler in mixed martial arts today.
There's other guys coming in with better pedigrees than George St. Pierre on paper, but I don't think there's a better wrestler in MMA right now than George St. Pierre, and that's saying a lot. Talk about athleticism.
We saw it displayed with Josh Koscheck, his opponent, Matt Hughes, even Sean Shirk, Frank Trigg. All about GSP so far here at home. Can he get Serra down again?
What balance by Matt Serra to avoid the takedown of George St. Pierre. Everyone talks about St. Pierre's athleticism. How about Matt Serra's?
Yeah, Serra has a little bit of life. Wow,
Matt Serra landing a head kick.
Serra. Spinning back kick. Serra kind of hanging those hands, but that's kind of the way he approaches things. He wants to keep it in close.
This is where Matt Serra is dangerous. Inside with those short punches.
Couple of good jabs by St. Pierre. Got to get those hands up, Matt Serra. He's eating those jabs, Kenny. He's hanging that left hand.
He's not using head movement. He's dropping his hands. He's giving a lot of opportunities for George St. Pierre to work his jab and work his combinations.
It almost seemed like he was just trying to wait for a spot to throw that big knockout punch, that overhand right that you alluded to earlier. I thought at first that's kind of how he hung his hands, but man, they were really down by his waist, especially the left hand before the takedown.
This fight is going up and down, up and down. It's confusing Matt Serra and it's tiring him out. George St. Pierre is really grinding out these first couple rounds. I think he believes he has the better cardio, and Matt Serra right now could be in trouble.
Well, the conditioning of Serra has never been a question, but still, the conditioning against St. Pierre is a category generally that St. Pierre wins.
St. Pierre's using the size and strength advantage right now.
I mean, Matt Serra was once one of the top lightweights in the UFC, and he got his title shot at 170 because he fought maybe above his weight class to win the Ultimate Fighter 4 the comeback, and he made the most of that situation. 1:45 remains in the second round. Serra is surviving, but can he start to score any points?
Here he is once again, George St. Pierre on top, kind of chipping away and really getting Matt Serra to spend the energy. Very smart strategy on the part of George St. Pierre's camp.
St. Pierre looks up at the clock. And George is playing this very smart too, Kenny. He's not overworking himself and gassing himself out trying to stop this fight, because he knows, as of right now, he has complete control of it.
That's exactly right. Great game planning, great execution by George St. Pierre.
Very calculated and controlled. He passes to half guard. Let's see if he can get them out.
He's gonna pass right here.
Side control, 50 seconds. Easy passing all night long for GSP.
He's using a tight style of guard passing. He's cutting through Matt Serra's guard. Matt Serra has to come up with an answer for that pass and for those takedowns of Georges St-Pierre.
Knees continuously into the midsection of Serra. Yves Lavigne right on top of the action. Serra turns, GSP doesn't stop. St-Pierre now has his back. 20 seconds remains. More knees by GSP. Georges St-Pierre is the undisputed UFC welterweight champion. Two tremendous champions. And in all likelihood, they will meet again. Serra congratulating the UFC welterweight champion once again, Georges "Rush" St-Pierre.
Classy display by Matt Serra, picking up Georges St-Pierre, you know, with all the bad blood being thrown at each other back and forth. These guys are true professionals. They obviously have a lot of respect for each other. You gotta give your hat to Matt Serra. He hung in there. Georges St-Pierre just executed in what my opinion was a perfect game plan.
Georges St-Pierre enjoys what truly is the greatest moment of his fighting career, winning here at home in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And he is once again the king of the 170-pound division. Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Lavigne has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 45 seconds of the second round. Declaring the winner, Le Gagnant by TKO, and now, for the second time, the new UFC welterweight champion of the world, Georges